Welcome to the Grovey YouTube channel. Look, your 20s are genuinely the most fascinating, high-leverage decade for building wealth. And it's not because you're suddenly going to have the most money in your bank account. In fact, you probably won't. But this decade is uniquely powerful because you possess the one asset that matters more than literally anything else when it comes to compounding wealth, and that is time. So, looking at all the latest financial research, we've distilled 10 beautifully boring habits that will actually move the needle on your financial future.
The core philosophy of what we're doing today is super simple. Time is greater than money. This leverage you have right now, it isn't about having a massive, high income out of the gate. Rather, it's about having the absolute maximum amount of time for the money you do have to compound. And I'll be completely honest with you, none of these habits are exciting, life hack, get-rich-quick tricks. But as you'll see throughout this explainer, these boring habits are the definitive difference between feeling chronically behind and quietly, steadily getting ahead.
Okay, let's dive into this master blueprint. We're going to take these 10 habits and build a comprehensive wealth engine, starting with building your financial defense, then moving to the automatic growth engine, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and finally, the true wealth mindset.
All right, phase 1, building your financial defense.
Before going on the offensive, we've absolutely got to lay an unbreakable foundation. These 4 defensive habits are just non-negotiables for keeping you from falling behind. Honestly, if you don't have these locked down, any flashy offensive strategy you try to run will eventually collapse under its own weight. Let's break down how they work.
Our very first habit is simple. Actually know where your money goes. A super popular way to track it is the 50-30-20 system, spending 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings and debt. But honestly, even if you don't use a strict system, simply tracking your spending for just one single month will fundamentally change how you spend. It acts like a spotlight, bringing instant awareness to the unconscious outflow of your cash.
Habit number 2 is establishing a starter emergency fund before you go all in on aggressive investing. I literally cannot stress this enough. Why? Because, well, life happens. Your car breaks down, or maybe you get an unexpected medical bill. If you don't have a cash buffer, a single bad month might force you to actually sell your investments at a loss just to cover your rent. Your emergency fund is the shield that protects the rest of your wealth-building engine.
Habit 3 brings us to the ultimate wealth destroyer, high-interest debt. If you have it, you need to treat it like an absolute hair-on-fire priority. Research gives us 2 great ways to attack it. The avalanche method focuses on paying off the highest interest rates first to save the most cash, while the snowball method has you knock out the smallest balances first to build some serious psychological momentum. Just pick one and attack that debt relentlessly. The final defensive habit, habit 4, is protecting your credit score. This means always paying on time, keeping your credit utilization low, and, this is a big one, don't close out your old credit cards just out of boredom. Protecting your credit score might sound like abstract adulting, but I promise you, it quietly saves you thousands in real, tangible money on everything from car loans to getting approved for an apartment.
Let's move into phase 2, the automatic growth engine. Now that your defense is rock solid, it's time to shift to the offense. We want to set up systems that build wealth while you literally sleep, using 3 habits that require 0 daily willpower. You just do the work once, and the system effortlessly pulls you toward wealth over the coming decades. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is habit 5, claiming the full employer match. If your employer offers a 401k match, claim the whole thing, period. A 100% match means they are literally doubling your contribution. It is the absolute closest thing to free money that actually exists in the real world. Don't leave it on the table.
And that brings us to habit 6. The cold hard truth is, willpower is totally unreliable, but a scheduled transfer isn't. You want your investing to happen in the background whether you remember to do it or not. We're all human, right? You might feel incredibly motivated today, but completely exhausted next week. A scheduled automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account simply doesn't care how tired you are. It just builds your wealth.
Habit 7 is the golden rule of investing. Consistency beats timing. It is incredibly common in your 20s to want to wait for the perfect moment to invest. You think, the market is too high right now, I'll just wait for a crash. Do not do this. Investing consistently, bit by bit, every single month, regardless of what the news says, mathematically crushes trying to time the market perfectly over the long run. Steady, month-over-month growth is your absolute best friend here.
Moving into phase 3, avoiding lifestyle inflation.
So this is often the single biggest, sneakiest financial trap of your 20s. It's where so many smart people will get completely derailed. The contrast here is fascinating. The flawed reality is that as your income goes up, say you land a big promotion, it is incredibly tempting to let your spending quietly rise right along with it. You lease a nicer car, you rent a fancier apartment. The result? A raise comes and goes without your actual savings rate changing at all. But the wealthy reality is fundamentally different. When their income goes up, their savings gap goes up. They intentionally widen the distance between what they earn and what they spend.
To make sure you're living in that wealthy reality, here's a simple, incredibly clever compromise to govern lifestyle inflation. Whenever you get a raise or a bonus, commit to increasing your savings and investing rate by at least 50% of that new increase. Do this immediately, before your spending even has a chance to catch up. You still get to enthusiastically use the other 50% to upgrade your lifestyle and reward yourself, but you're automatically supercharging your wealth engine at the exact same time. It's a total win-win.
Let's hit the final phase, the true wealth mindset. Okay, you've got the defensive foundation and the automatic offense. Now we just need the final two mental models to keep you grounded and adaptable. Because without these two mental habits, even the best mechanical systems can slowly drift off course as your financial life inevitably evolves.
Habit 9 is to actually know what you own. You do not need to be a Wall Street day trader, and you definitely don't need to memorize every single stock ticker in your portfolio. But you absolutely must understand the basics of what your money is doing. Are you invested in an index fund, a target date fund? What general sectors are you exposed to? Having just this basic level of financial literacy totally prevents panic when the market naturally fluctuates.
In habit 10, keep learning. You can never assume, you simply know enough and tune out forever. Tax rules change, different investment accounts emerge, and most importantly, your own life circumstances are going to drastically change. Continuous learning is essential. And hey, the fantastic news is the simple fact that you're taking the time to watch an explainer like this one means you are already actively building this habit.
Finally, let's talk about progress over perfection.
So the crucial point is this. It is incredibly easy to feel totally overwhelmed by a list of 10 distinct financial habits. Let's bust a massive myth right now. You don't have to execute all of these perfectly starting today to actually be doing it right. The reality is that this is a direction to move in. It is not a pass-fail test. If you just take this explainer and nail 3 or 4 of these habits consistently, you are already putting yourself meaningfully, substantially ahead of doing none of them. This is entirely about progress over perfection.
To wrap it all up, build that unbreakable defense, set up your automated offense, ruthlessly avoid lifestyle inflation traps, and cultivate a mindset of continuous learning. If any of these felt completely unfamiliar, we've linked our specific deep dive explainers for almost every single one of these topics in the description below so you can master them step by step. But ask yourself this, if you fast forward 10 years from today, looking back, which of these habits will you most regret not starting right now? The clock is ticking and time is your greatest asset. Subscribe to Grovise, you can actually become rich instead of just watching other people pretend to be rich.